Thank you for taking the time to listen to our show today. I'm Jason MacGregor. I'm the host of the MacGregor Wealthcast. Each episode, we will be discussing topics we believe to be important to our clients. And welcome to our podcast this week. Cory, welcome to the podcast. This is another episode of the MacGregor Wealthcast, and thanks for taking some time to listen to us. Today's agenda. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about Social Security and Social Security logistics.
All right, one of our favorite topics, and it's a very common topic for our clients and prospective clients. What today is all about is the logistics of how to apply for Social Security. We're going to assume that we've already done a full analysis, or you've gone through the process of finding out when the right time to take Social Security is,
Right.
At what age. Now you're ready to take it, and you need to know what to do. So couple ways to apply for Social Security. You can do it online or you can do it in person. Cory, do you have a preference?
I guess I prefer in person. I know with COVID that some of the offices are closed nationwide, but some of the ones up in New York are now open, and I prefer in person because you can get a lot of what we talk about today, like taxes. You can get a lot of it done at the same time, so it's convenient.
Yeah. So for those of you who are here in the greater capital region, Saratoga region, a couple of local offices. If you're down in Schenectady County or lower, there's an office in an office in Schenectady. There's also north of here an office in Queensbury, and clearly you and I are not quite old enough to actually apply for Social Security, but we have heard anecdotally from lots of clients that the Queensbury office is pretty nice. I think it's new. They recently moved to Cronin Road, and they've got some people who work there who seem to be on the mark.
And then you also have an office down in Albany and an office in Troy as well.
There you go. So if you want to do it in person, so whether you've chosen to do it at the comfort of your home on your computer, or you want to go see somebody, what do you have to do?
Well, the first thing is to bring the necessary things. So to bring what I would say is an identification, either a passport or a driver's license, some type of authorized identification, as well as identifications for anything that you're applying for. For example, if you're applying for a spousal benefit, then you need to know your spousal's information as well. And this goes the same with divorce benefits. If you're applying for divorce spousal benefits, you need to bring the divorced spouse, not identification, but their information, namely their Social Security number, which can be hard to do sometimes with a divorce.
And again, just to reiterate, this is assuming you've already figured out.
Correct.
Are you applying on your own record, on your spouse's record, ex-spouse? We've already talked about that. Now we're just going to go to the office or apply online.
Yeah. So you need good identification. Also, what to bring, what I would say is a understanding of what your earnings are. If you're self-employed, if you're employed, and if you're younger than your full retirement age and you're applying during that period of time, you do need to know what your current year's earnings so far this year has been, as well as what you expect to earn the rest of the year.
Okay, so I am not 67 years old, but let's pretend I am, or about to be, and that's my full retirement age, and I want to take Social Security at my full retirement age. My birthday's in January. When should I go online or go to visit the office? Should it be 6 months in advance, the week before? What's the optimal time so that I get that first check?
Sure. So it kind of depends a little bit on if and when you're taking Medicare, but normally I would say 3 months before you want the application to go through.
Okay, so 3 months in advance, schedule an appointment, show up, just walk in. What's the protocol?
Yeah, so to actually sign up for it, you can do it over the phone. So you can call them and do it over the phone as well. You can do it online, or you can go in person. If you want to go in person, you can just do a walk-in. You're risking a couple hour wait. So I would first call, set the appointment up, and either it's either gonna be a phone appointment or it's gonna be an in-person appointment, whichever you prefer.
Cool. And then, Social Security for most people or some people is taxable, right?
Yes.
So give some thought to whether or not you want taxes withheld, not state, but federal. Okay. And when you first apply, you can ask for federal taxes to be withheld. I think there's 4 or 5 choices, 0%,
7, 10, 12, and 22.
Okay, thank you. So that's on the federal side. So give that some thought. And if you're doing it online or in person, there'll be a form to sign. You'll take care of it. If you've already been taking Social Security and you decide you want to change that, then you have a form W4V.
That's
I think
right.
it is. So that you fill out after the fact and mail it to your local office. But I think we're digressing at this point. So when to get it or when to apply is 3 months in advance is the optimal. So a lot of times we get questions about, all right, so my birthday is in the middle of January. I applied 3 months in advance. When will I see my first check?
Sure. So it actually does depend on your birthday. So if you've got an early in the month birthday, for example, my birthday is July 1st. And so if I was applying for Social Security, the check would arrive in the first week, the first Wednesday of the following month.
Would it really be a check, Cory?
Technically, it would be a direct deposit, but
just check it.
I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy where check in the mail, but
there are no checks.
There are no checks. It is all direct deposited. They changed that a couple of years ago where they have to do that. But yeah, it depends on the birthday, but it's always a Wednesday. And if you got a late in the month birthday, then it'd be like 3rd or 4th week of the month of the following month that you sign up for.
So my birthday's in January. I'm not going to see my first deposit until February. But that's for the month of January.
Yes,
okay,
that's right. It's always paid 1 month later. Yep.
Sounds good. So we talked about when to do it, what to bring, what to expect. Pretty straightforward. Obviously millions of people do this on a regular basis. It's pretty streamlined. Any other words of advice?
I would say another additional item on the taxes. Those who live in New York doesn't tax Social Security on the state side. But if you live in a state that do tax Social Security, for example, like Rhode Island or Connecticut or a few other states out there, California, for example, they don't withhold taxes for the state side. So do keep that in mind that you either have to pay an estimated tax through the year or just pay a big lump sum tax at the end in April.
Or have the taxes withheld from some other source of income, like a pension
absolutely.
That's willing to do
an extra withholding
for tax at the state level.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
But the key is Social Security will not withhold any taxes at the state level, regardless of where you live.
Correct.
So as always, this is an area of expertise. We have a lot of conversations with clients about how to apply. Probably more importantly is, the strategy and how old you are. That's a different podcast, but that's a different topic. But whether you are figuring out when you want to or how to do it, we're here. As always, we can be reached at our website, mmwealth.com. Email is info@mmwealth.com. Our website has all our contact information, and looking forward to hearing from you if you have any questions. And as always, thanks for taking a few minutes to listen and or watch us, and we'll see you soon.
MacGregor Wealth Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC and only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of the firm by the Commission, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill or ability. Information presented does not involve the rendering of personalized investment advice and should not be construed as an offer to buy or sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy or sell the securities discussed. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and there can be no assurance that any investment or strategy will be suitable or profitable for an investor's portfolio. There are no assurances that an investor's portfolio will match or outperform any particular benchmark. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. The tax and legal information contained in this podcast is general in nature. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation.